5 feet tall and have a wingspan around 9 feet wide. It's actually almost the same width as a canopy is above your head. Most out-of-build storks still vocalize with each other as they'll vibrate or rattle their bills in order to communicate with one another. You might be able to spot it moving around, but over the very top of the hill is a black rhinoceros. They tend to be a little bit more solitary and will typically stick to themselves. Black rhino has a pointed upper lip, some grip on them, and grabs their teeth. This horns are made out of keratin. It's the same thing as our hair and fingernails and are grow continuously throughout the rhino's life.
Still holding at ostrich eggs.
So over here on the right-hand side of the truck, on the left-hand side are some bongo. They're often nicknamed the ghost of the forest because they're rarely seen. This one's just sit backwards and on them, quickly through the bushes and trees. They're getting their heads not on anything.
I think we might be on the
Just at the very top of the hill, there's some greater kudu. You know that those greater kudu are female because they don't have any horns. Now we're leaving the Little Terry Forest and we're about to head down into the Saki River. This is where we'll find a lot of aquatic animals who like to rely on the rivers and streams to call home. So as we pass by, look down on the other side of the truck, so you never know where they might be, or they might decide to come out of the water. Just in between the trees here on the right-hand side of the truck are some pink-backed pelicans, and they do look pretty great right now. They're known for the vibrant pink color they'll get during mating season. They're also colonial nesters and will lay their eggs in groups up to 500 in one area. Moving on along here, down by the log in the water, there's a Nile hippopotamus. They usually spend most of their day underwater, only coming up for a quick breath of air. Looks like there's just a few more out here over on the left. Now the hippos don't usually like to swim. What they'll do instead is sink their bodies down to the bottom and then walk or run along the river. So as you pass by out here on the left, look out for shadows and roll along your bubbles coming from the bottom. These are good signs that the hippos are here in the area. Now they do have the ability to lean back their ears and close their nostrils. That allows them to sleep underwater. Right out over here on the left-hand side of the truck is some Nile crocodiles. So grow to be about 16 feet long. It's about as long as a giraffe is tall. Now they do have a bite force strong enough to crush human bones, but after sad sounds are actually really gentle parents. The mom will lay the eggs underground, she'll then dig them up and roll them around in her mouth in order to process. She'll then carry the young in her mouth and on her back. It's mainly just because their little legs can't keep up with hers walking between areas. Now as these trees start to fade, it looks like we're about to head down to the savannah. Now this is one of the most popular areas out here on the reserve. Before we head down the hill, we're going to take a quick peek at this tree here on the right hand side of the truck. So here's a baobab tree, and they often been nicknamed the tree of light. Because for about 9 months out of the year, they remain completely leafless in order to conserve water from the animals here out on the savannah. We use their horns and tusks to poke through the bark to the center of the tree where it keeps all that water. Now don't worry, that doesn't harm the tree. It's a pretty sponge-like structure. It's the ability to soak up and hold a bunch of water. It also has the ability to regrow. Alex, who's hanging out. Just side over here on the left-hand side of the truck is a den. To the right of the den are some African painted dogs. They live in groups anywhere from around 2 to about 25. They're actually one of the most successful hunters in Africa. Each dog can reach speeds around 35 to 40 miles an hour. They can maintain that speed for about 3 or 4 miles. Just out over here on the left-hand side of the truck, some sable antelope. They're the emblem here of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Given the option of fight or flight, almost always choose fight. They use their pointy horns to help aid in their process. I'll just set over here on the right-hand side of the picture, the very top of the hill. There are some Ancolli cattle. They're one of the only domesticated animals out on the reserve. Those horns can grow anywhere from 6 to about 8 feet long. And despite their heavy look, those horns have a nickel-like structure on the inside, giving them the ability to circulate blood through and regulate off if it's hot. I'll just set over here, come to Patterson with Side Giraffe. They'll grow anywhere from 14 to 20 feet tall. When they're newly born, they're already about 6 feet tall. It's taller than the average human.
Well, chatting for giraffes, rode by giraffe farm, but we are back up and move. And boy, copy.
Now it looks like there's a baby giraffe all the way just behind the hill here. Let's see if we can go take a look.
Reserve from Safari 3.
This is pretty fancy bird. Finger Lake can help them grip on the food needs they want to eat.
Man, if you could just crawl, or if you could just crawl over and change the door yourself. 10-4, I'll do that real quick. Is there a body?
That's a great to wait for this giraffe to move on out of the way. You really see that prehensile tongue all the way up to the top of those trees.
have Safi, 51 to the VM lot.
He's finally like, alright, fine.
Looks like we're moving here.
But never mind.
Oh, there we go. Stinger pass, strands here.
This is the real star.
Some of the local safari guides call this next area elephant territory. It's because some of the African elephants like to hang out around here. Now they do wander for hundreds of miles, so never really sure where they might be. But sure they do like somewhere over in this area, so let's take a look. There was a problem with the elephants here in Africa. They would wander around the farms eating up all the crops. The farmers didn't like that very much, so they began to poach the elephants. So Disney partnered with Oxford University, as well as some locals in Kenya, were able to find out that elephants are terrified of bees. Something with the buzzing in their ears, they didn't like it. They would alert herds miles away of the bees' presence in the area and run and warn them off. They would create beehive fences, boxes surrounding the farm could act as a barrier for the elephants. This in turn make the elephants begin to an area to find food. So the farmers regain their crops, and they also gain an additional resource, the honey that the bees produce. Now if you look out on the other side of the track, you're going to start to see test marks. The elephants will take their test into the red clay. They'll then roll it up into a ball with their trunk, and they'll eat the red clay in order to place their litter on their mostly fiber diet. Now with those red clay pits being so close to their good signs, more elephants could be nearby, so let's go and see if we can find any. Head down into the local watering hole. You never know what animals are hanging out, what birds could have taken home to the area. This looks like a group of greater flamingos taking home to the area. A group of greater flamingos needing to flamboyant. They get the vibrant pink color from the beta carotene found inside their food. So does the outfit they eat. All the way in the distance there's an African elephant. It does look like coming up ahead there could be some bigger animals. A lot of these trees around. I'm starting to see some markings here out in the rock. Over here on the left-hand side of the truck is a mud wall. The animals here in the savannah roll around in the mud, which helps create a barrier between their skin and the bugs here in Africa. Also kind of works as a built-in sunscreen.
Chita.
The really fastest line now can run at speeds up to 60 miles an hour. The reset speed is just about 3 seconds. It's like when we're walking along here. Coming up out here in the left-hand side of the trucks. Kobe rocks. These Kobe rocks are typically on just big cats here in the area. Be able to look out to Savannah, see if there's any predators or prey that might be hanging around. It does look like some lions. No lions usually anywhere from 16 to 20 hours throughout the day. We'll usually start hunting at night. Females typically lead the hunt. The males just stay back at home. Just as you turn the corner here on the right-hand side of the truck, probably at the end of the road or some ostriches. They're some of the fastest non-flighted birds. Can grow to be anywhere from 7 to about 9 feet tall. Lions have the ability to roar. This one can be heard anywhere from 3 to about 6 miles away. Coming up ahead here, launch inside of the truck is some white rhinoceros.
Não, rinoceronte. Eles são bravos, amor.
Maybe you shape peppers up and chop some grip onto the food and grass that they eat. Now you might see it moving its ears around. It's because it doesn't have very good eyesight. It instead use its hearing to figure out what's going on around it. So if you see one of these white rhinos just here out on top, right hand down inside of the truck. They can run at a top speed of 35 miles an hour. Just out over here on the right hand side of the truck are some eggs. So those are ostrich eggs. They weigh about 3 pounds and around the equivalent of 2 dozen chicken eggs.
Não tem mais nenhum.
Crossing the bridge here into Magadi Glen. This is where one of the local woods has his outpost. I've also heard he's starting to take care of some new animals. Let's see what he's got. Looks like the warden's starting to take care of some Nigerian horn goats. They come in about 3 feet tall and don't require special animals.
Não pode abusar.
They still provide milk and cheese for the village. Will take care of the goats. In exchange, their milk provides both nutritional and economic benefit. This is just one of the great examples how humans and animals can come together and mutually benefit from our shared lands. Unfortunately, many animals that we saw in the reserve are endangered. That's why it's so important to protect them and their habitats for years. Whether that's just simply reducing, reusing, and recycling, converting your plastic water bottles to reusable one, recycling your old electronics to be reused. This will all help these animals and their habitats for years. Now, once we make it back to the village of Harambe, underneath the merchandise locations, with the ability to donate to the Disney Conservation Fund. All of that money will go to help funding research, projects, and education about these animals and their habitats for years. For the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail. It's about a 15 to 25 minute walking trail and is fully accessible to both wheel trails.